So welcome back to the James Rambin Reviews, and in today's video I'm actually going to be reviewing for you 28 years later, The Bone Temple, which is the most recent movie in the 28 franchise. So you've got 28 days later, 28 weeks later, 28 years later, and this is the sequel to 28 years later because it's called 28 years later, The Bone Temple. And if you don't know already, I did a review of 28 years later about half a year ago, I want to say, and I remember enjoying that movie. I liked the fact that it had a different approach to the franchise. It tried something different. It tried to hit harder on a human level, on a theme level, and it really went for something different. And I liked the acting, like Ralph Fiennes was really good in the movie and stuff like that. And so there definitely is that. So I will link down below my review of 28 years later, and also the quick reaction that I just posted to my YouTube channel, where I kind of quickly go over how I generally felt about the film without going into too much detail, because this is the video right here where I'll be getting into detail how I felt about the film, but I won't spoil too much about the movie. I'll give you enough broad strokes about how I felt, but because it's just a new January film, I didn't want to go out there, lash out everything, go crazy, spoil this entire film, because it's one of those films where you've got to really go and see the movie, really perceive it all, really see it for yourself to really decide, hey, do I like this or is it not for me? So there is that. So what I will say is that this movie continues on from where the last movie left off, and what it is all about, it actually focuses a lot more on Ralph Fiennes and also Jack O'Connell's character that was in the last movie, more so than Aaron Taylor Johnson. And there is the little kid returns in this movie, but you don't see like Aaron Taylor Johnson and his wife trying to fight off the zombies and all of that stuff. In this movie, this takes like a kind of different approach to everything again. And so one of the first things that I'm going to say about the film is that I enjoyed the movie, as you could tell from my quick reaction, but I really do like the acting in the movie, because you know, like Ralph Fiennes really does put the performance on again, and he is really engaging to watch the way he conducts himself, how he interacts with the environments and how he goes about doing what he does, and I really do like that about the movie. I also think Jack O'Connell is decent in the film, the way he acts and how the movie contrasts between Jack O'Connell and what he's doing and what Ralph Fiennes is up to, and then the whole thing about how Jack O'Connell and his friends are trying to go and figure out what Ralph Fiennes the doctor's all about, and so there is all of that. I also like the fact that the movie actually uses music to, you know, signify emotions, drive the story forward. There's interesting techniques throughout the film where, you know, Ralph Fiennes is playing music. It pretty much signifies how he's feeling in that moment and how he feels happy, and then you see how, you know, the movie starts to unravel, and then the music plays louder and louder, and a lot of that stuff where they use the sound as a crucial component to really tell the story and to really have what it's really trying to go for. So that's what I like about the film, is that it's beyond just characters and emotions and, you know, dialogue and things. Like, it goes for like the whole music side of things, and definitely the last movie does that as well, but this movie definitely doubles down on that, where you have the moments with the music and the sounds and all of that stuff. And what I also enjoyed about the film is that, unlike the last movie, which I did enjoy, this movie doesn't really rely on the whole, you know, the whole zombie attack, survive type of storyline. This is more about these other characters that we had in the last movie, and how we're going to drive these characters forward, and how it's going to be character centric, and we're going to have these characters, you're going to understand more about the characters rather than, oh, there's the zombie moving about, they're trying to survive. So I like that as well. There's a lot of things I liked about the movie. There's also a few scenes where it does try to make you laugh, and I will be honest, it's not a really scary film. I would probably more so call this more of a type of, like, I want to say in a sense it's like a psychological thriller, but it's just kind of like a thriller movie where it keeps you engaged and it keeps you guessing like what's going to happen, how they're all going to piece it together and things like that. So I honestly did enjoy this movie. There's a few things that you can talk about because it keeps you thinking about what's going to happen next. It's interesting to watch the movie, and it's pretty decent considering that it's not Danny Boyle at the helm this time. It's actually Nia DaCosta, who I believe directed like the Marvels and stuff like that, so completely different director, and it still was a pretty engaging watch and pretty entertaining. It had moments of laughter, and I just liked how it made you laugh and then it made you keep guessing, and then it also had the moments where you had the music and the sound design ramping up, and there's a lot of that stuff that I enjoyed about the film. So overall, gonna give it about an 8 out of 10. If I was to compare it to 28 Years Later, it's a completely different movie, but I enjoyed both of them, so I don't think it was any worse than the first movie, but I also think that it is just as good as 28 Years Later could ever be. So that is how I personally felt about the film. Let me know if you've seen 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. If you haven't, well, go and watch the movie because it is a really good, and I really like the film. So I tried not to spoil too much, but that's how I felt about the film. I would have reviewed it tomorrow, but I'm like, you know what, saw it today, I enjoyed the film. If it's worth talking about, why don't I just talk about it anyway? So there is that. So that's my review of 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. Let me know how you felt, and stay tuned for more reviews like this one. And yeah, bye.